November 7th, 2022. Edwin Castro walks into a gas station in Altadena, California. He buys a Powerball ticket for $2. The numbers 10, 33, 41, 47, 56. Powerball 10. The odds of winning are 1 in 292 million. You're more likely to be struck by lightning twice than to match all 6 numbers. But somehow, impossibly, he does. $2.04 billion, the largest lottery jackpot in human history. And for 3 months, nobody knows who won it. The ticket exists somewhere, verified, valid, worth more money than most people can conceptualize. People speculate, is the winner okay? Did they lose the ticket? Can you imagine winning $2 billion and then losing it? February 14th, 2023, Valentine's Day. Castro finally comes forward. He's 31 years old. He worked as an architecture consultant. His father was in construction. He grew up in Altadena, the same town where he bought the ticket. By all accounts, he was living a completely normal life, renting a room, working, existing in the background of Southern California. He has 2 options. Take the full $2 billion spread over 30 years, or take a lump sum immediately. Castro chooses the lump sum, $997,600,000. After federal and California state taxes, he walks away with roughly $768 million in cash, immediately available. More money than he could spend in multiple lifetimes. What do you do when you suddenly have $750 million? Castro buys houses. Within weeks, he purchases a $25.5 million mansion in the Hollywood Hills. 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, game room, wine cellar, home theater, gym, cold plunge, sauna. The maintenance costs alone are estimated at $250,000 to $1 million per year just to keep it running. Then a $4 million home in Altadena, his hometown. Then a beach house in Malibu for $3.85 million. 3 homes, over $33 million in real estate in a matter of months. Financial advisors call this the worst possible thing you can do. Luxury real estate is illiquid. It's expensive to maintain. Multiple homes means multiple problems. Property taxes, insurance, security, staff. The costs compound endlessly. He buys cars, vintage Porsches, a white 911, other luxury vehicles. Paparazzi spot him driving different supercars around Los Angeles. He dates a model. They're photographed at Nobu, at clubs, living the exact life everyone imagines when they fantasize about winning the lottery. He hires 24/7 security because when you're worth hundreds of millions, you become a target. And predictably, he gets sued. A man named Jose Rivera claims the ticket was stolen from him, that it rightfully belonged to Rivera. The lawsuit gets dismissed eventually. No evidence, but it consumes time, energy, legal fees. This is textbook lottery winner behavior, the kind that makes experts shake their heads, the kind that leads to the statistic everyone quotes, that most lottery winners go bankrupt within a few years. There's something called the lottery curse, the idea that winning actually destroys your life, and the evidence is horrifying. Jack Whitaker won $315 million in 2002. Within a year, he was robbed of $545,000 from his car.
When you first won the lottery, because Brandy was so much the apple of your eye, did you give her money?
I gave her about $2,000 a week.
And how?
While at a strip club, his granddaughter and daughter both died of drug overdoses. He later said he wished he'd torn the ticket up. Evelyn Adams won the lottery twice, $5.4 million total. She gave most of it away to family and friends, gambled the rest. 16 years later, she was living in a trailer park. Jeffrey Dampier won $20 million in 1996. He was generous, bought houses and cars for his family, sent 38 relatives on a Caribbean cruise. In 2005, his sister-in-law kidnapped and murdered him for the inheritance. The pattern repeats constantly. Lottery winners face problems normal people never encounter. Everyone knows you have money. In most states, your name becomes public record. The media publishes your face, your address, your background. You can't hide. People emerge from nowhere. Family you haven't spoken to in decades. Friends from elementary school. Strangers. Everyone needs help. A medical bill. A business idea. A loan. The requests never stop. And if you say no, you're the villain. Most lottery winners have zero experience managing large amounts of money. They don't understand taxes, investments, asset protection. They trust the wrong people. Wealth attracts predators, scammers who see opportunity, and lifestyle inflation happens instantly. One nice car becomes 2. You upgrade your house, expensive trips. You start picking up every dinner tab. Suddenly, you're burning $10 million a year without noticing until it's gone. But here's the thing, not every winner ends up broke and miserable. Research from Germany and Singapore shows most winners actually report being happier and more financially stable years later. The curse isn't inevitable. It's a series of choices that compound over time. By early 2025, Castro's story seemed to be following the classic trajectory: mansions, cars, lawsuits, paparazzi, the predictable spiral. And then in January 2025, the Los Angeles wildfires hit.
This morning, the firestorm official park is now the nation's largest at well over 100,000. Chris Pratt hosting overnight.
The Eaton Fire, the Palisades Fire, catastrophic. 31 people killed, over 16,000 structures destroyed, communities turned to ash overnight. Castro's Malibu house, completely destroyed, $3.85 million, reduced to rubble. Satellite images showed scorched earth where his Ocean View property used to stand. His Hollywood Hills mansion sat in an evacuation zone. His Altadena home somehow survived. And this is where everything changes. Because instead of retreating, instead of moving somewhere safe and forgetting about the fires, Castro does something unexpected. He starts buying up the destroyed lots in Altadena, the town where he grew up, where he bought the winning ticket, where his father worked construction. He's purchased 15 lots so far, burned properties, $10 million total, and he's not flipping them. He's not building luxury condos to maximize profit. He's planning to rebuild homes for the families who lost everything. Affordable homes, craftsman-style houses, 3 bedrooms with attached units. He's hired local designers. He's working with the community. Castro told the Wall Street Journal, "This is for a family that wants to move in. Those are the people that need to be looked out for right now." He said profit margins would be reasonable, not egregious, that he's not doing this just to give homes away, but he's not trying to exploit tragedy either. He started a company called Black Lion Properties, run by his brother. His family office is managed by a high school friend. He's creating jobs. He's investing in the place that raised him, and residents are cautiously optimistic. One local contractor said, "I feel better about him than anybody else because he's from the area." The concern is gentrification, that outside developers will buy everything and build expensive properties that push out the original community. Altadena has a specific character: historic homes, small town feel, diversity. People want that preserved. And there's hope that Castro, having grown up there, understands that. He's 33 now, single, told reporters he wants kids. That family is important. He still reads the Bible. Friends describe him as a good kid who did community service and made good grades. Someone raised with strong values. And maybe those values are kicking in now that the initial shock has worn off. So here's what this forces us to ask. Would you actually want to win the lottery? I know the immediate answer. Yes, obviously. Give me the money. But really think about it. Really imagine what your life becomes. Your face is on the news. Everyone knows. Your phone never stops ringing. Every conversation becomes about money. People you haven't talked to in years are suddenly your best friend. Family members need help. Your actual friends start acting weird. They either expect you to pay for everything, or they're uncomfortable asking you to split a bill. You can't trust anyone new. Every advisor could be a scammer. Every investment could be a con. Every person who approaches you could have ulterior motives. Paranoia becomes rational. You hire security. You move. You isolate. The money that was supposed to solve problems has created entirely new ones. Your sense of purpose evaporates. You don't need to work, so why do anything? You can buy whatever you want, so nothing feels special. You can go anywhere, so nowhere feels exciting. The hedonic treadmill kicks in. You adapt to luxury. Then you need more luxury to feel anything, and more, until you're spending $10 million a year just to feel normal. Research shows lottery winners are happier on average after winning, but the happiness increase is smaller than you'd expect. Winning $2 billion doesn't make you twice as happy as winning $1 billion. It doesn't even make you 10% happier, because happiness doesn't scale with wealth after a certain point. There's a famous study from 2010 that found emotional well-being rises with income up to about $75,000 a year. After that, more money doesn't make you happier day to day. It gives you security, options, freedom, but not happiness. That comes from relationships, purpose, health, community, things you fundamentally cannot buy. So maybe the real question isn't whether you'd want to win, It's whether you'd be able to handle it, whether you'd make the right choices, whether you'd be Castro buying up lots to rebuild your hometown, or Jack Whitaker wishing you'd torn up the ticket. Edwin Castro won $2 billion, the biggest lottery jackpot in human history. And 3 years later, his story is still being written. He made mistakes. He spent wildly. He bought houses he probably didn't need. But he also survived the initial chaos. And now he's doing something that might actually matter. 15 lots in Altadena. $10 million invested in rebuilding. Homes for families who lost everything. It's not enough to erase the tragedy. It's not enough to fix a system that allows disasters to destroy entire communities. But it's something. It's a man using unimaginable wealth to try to make a difference in the place that made him. Whether this works long-term, we don't know. Whether Castro becomes a success story or a cautionary tale, we don't know. What we do know is that his story is still unfolding, and it's a reminder that money doesn't solve problems. It reveals character. It amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, you become more generous. If you're reckless, you become more reckless. The biggest jackpot ever won isn't really about the money. It's about what happens after, about the choices we make when we suddenly have the power to make any choice at all, about whether we use that power to build or to destroy, to connect or to isolate, to give back or to take more. Edwin Castro walked into a gas station and bought a $2 ticket, and that ticket changed everything. Not just for him, but for everyone whose story intersects with his. The gas station owner who got $1 million bonus. The families in Altadena who might get their homes rebuilt. The contractors working on his properties. Winning the lottery isn't an isolated event. It's a stone thrown into a pond, and the ripples spread farther than anyone can predict. So next time you buy a lottery ticket, remember, be careful what you wish for. You might actually get it.